Hello and welcome to our Schools Radio podcast for World Book Day 2014. I'm Darren Deans. We asked you to create a 30-second promo or review of a book, with the winning score receiving £100 in book vouchers. So, let's take a tour of schools radio stations around the UK and hear some of your promos for World Book Day 2014. We start with Abergate Primary School.
This book we are going to talk about is called Holes.
It is an amazing book by Louis Saha.
And it's about a boy called Stanley Jonas.
This boy gets caught by the police and sent to a camp in the desert.
And each child in the camp has to dig a hole every day.
That hole has to be 5 feet deep and 5 feet across.
Mr. Stink, a funny original thought-provoking tale about a mysterious man, a strange family with a suspicious girl. Is there a secret to Mr. Stink? Does the lonely girl have the courage to talk to him? Can it end lovely or will it end in disaster? Find out by reading Mr. Stink.
Now to Angus and Ruxo at Bedford School. Have I pronounced that right? Probably not. I am sorry if I haven't. With teacher Thomas Rook.
The Godfather is based in 1950s New York, where gangsters rule. Michael Corleone is a World War II hero and the son of the Godfather. He ruins his life seeking revenge for the death of his father, even though he is constantly surrounded by monsters who would do anything for the sake of business. The only difference this time is the murders committed are taboo. They mixed business and family. This story follows Michael as he goes from Mikey to Don Corleone. I recommend it to anyone for its strong themes of self-belief and loyalty.
Throne of Jade is set in Napoleonic Europe with one major difference. Dragons exist and are harnessed as beasts of war. Following on from the first book, the Chinese have demanded the return of Captain Lawrence's dragon, the celestial Temeraire. The British cannot afford to refuse the powerful Chinese, but since Temeraire refuses to leave Lawrence, the pair are forced to travel to China together. Temeraire is a brilliant book full of action and political intrigue. Anyone will be well rewarded by reading this.
To London and the Central Foundation of Girls' School in Bow with Reshmi and Lai and teacher Luke.
With thousands of words, the dictionary is an amazing source of interest with over 1 million selling copies worldwide. This book helps many students and adults. It's perhaps not the most interesting read, but certainly the most helpful. The dictionary is always evolving and shapes all the literature you have read and will ever read.
When a dyslexic teenager, unaware of his true identity, learns that the gods of Olympus are not just a myth, his life begins to unravel. After facing his first encounter with the monster, he discovers he is the son of the powerful sea god Poseidon. With help from his half-blood friends, Percy Jackson journeys across the US to catch the thief who has stolen Zeus's master boat. To clear his name, Percy sets out on an adventure to settle an ongoing battle between the gods. From the award-winning author Rick Riordan comes a book like no other. Will Percy be able to prevent a war between the mighty gods of Olympus?
Let's take a listen to the team at Devizes School in Wiltshire.
It's about fun. It's about the bond between father and son. It's about childhood. It's about adventure. It's about danger. It's about pheasants. It's Spiral Down. It's Danny, champion of the world.
Thanks to Mr. Mark Cooper and the team at Devizes School. Now let's take a listen to what we've received from the English Martyrs Catholic Academy.
I'm bored. Do you like books with Mad Hatters, March Hares, Rabbit Holes, maybe even Queens? Yes. Well then Alice in Wonderland is the book for you. So if you're bored, Alice in Wonderland is the book for you.
Alice in Wonderland is a very good story. It's about a girl who falls into her own land, meeting Mad Hatters, Mad Hares, Queens.
And Alice in Wonderland is great to read because it makes you in your own land. Read Alice in Wonderland! I just read an amazing book. Why? What's it about? It's about mad characters and a girl called Alice that goes on loads of adventures. I'm not that convinced. Tell me more. It's about loads of nuts characters and a nuts queen that always chops off people's heads. I'm going down to the library. It's an excellent book. Read Alice in Wonderland. It's amazing.
This story is about I will never eat a tomato. Once upon a time there lived Charlie and Lola. Lola never ate a potato or tomato or anything. So she tried everything that she didn't like in the end. And she said, Charlie, please get me one of these in the end. And then she ate all the food that she didn't like. By Tommy and Noah and Oscar and Isabella and everyone in our team. This is Tommy's show, by the way, what just went. Bye.
With thanks to Beth, Georgia, Layla and teacher Kate Mann and all the team at the English Martyrs Catholic Academy. Right, where next? Yes, to the Sixth Form Centre at High Down School and Serby and Connie, with thanks to teacher Miss Fraser.
His roots of blood are Marcus Cedric.
It's 2073. A young adult named Eric Seven travels to the island of the blessed, where he'll time in a tale 1,000 years old.
Will live 7 times, and I will look for you and love you in each life. Amazing!
Fasting journey of love and sacrifice.
It's a great read!
It's a great read! I enjoyed it!
Superb!
Yay!
To Iska next.
I hate school assemblies.
Wonder what the message will be today.
Well, it's always nice to see the whole school together. It reminds me of when I...
Where've they all gone? All the teachers and some older kids. Poof! Gone!
Gone. A book by Michael Grant.
With thanks to teacher Dan Smith, who is a fantastic supporter of Schools Radio. Thanks, Dan. And thanks to all of the team over there at ISCA. We can now listen to Millfields Primary School.
Millfields 96.7.
Welcome. What are your favourite parts of Matilda?
When Matilda stays with Miss Honey, because I think it's happy but sad.
Is Matilda your favourite book?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think it's funny and enjoyable.
Thank you for spending all your time here.
And thank you for having me.
Goodbye!
Millfields 96.7.
In Eastern. Reporting book, Mouse, Bird, Snake, Wolf. Hi, what did you like about the book? When the children thought about what they are trying to describe, the animals that they was making. What didn't you like about the book? I did not like when Sue and Harry got eaten because the children were very close. I would recommend where the wolf got destroyed by Ben's seriousness. In Eastern.
Thanks to Miss Harty and Simon from High Impact. Molly from Spinney Avenue Primary School next.
Welcome to
Spinney Radio. Spinney Radio.
It's time for our 30-second book review with me, Molly Sweeney. Please welcome Ellie and Ewan. So what's the book called?
It's called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Cabin Fever.
What's the book about?
It's about 2 boys called Greg and Rowan. Greg got a doll for his birthday and lost it.
What did he do after that?
Replaced it with a watermelon and found it floating around in his basement.
That's all the time we have. And I say a big thank you to Ellie and Ewan.
Thanks to Molly and Mr. Hughes at Spinney Avenue. Calling Miss Fiona Sloan and St Peter's Primary School in Rossett, Wexham.
Which book are you reviewing today?
Demon Dentist by David Walliams.
What's it about?
It's about a boy called Alfie and a dentist called Miss Root. Miss Root is a demon, and every time a child loses a tooth, she comes into their bedroom and leaves a blood-curdling calling card behind.
Would you recommend this book to others?
Yes, because it's really exciting and you always want to know what happens next.
To William Brick School and Amelia, Becky and Megan, with thanks to Multimedia Manager Paul.
Here's a small fact. You are going to die.
I'm really wanting a good new book to read. Have you got any suggestions?
How about a book narrated by Death?
Wow, that sounds interesting. But what's it about?
It's a small story about
a girl,
an accordionist,
some fanatical Germans,
a Jewish fist fighter,
and quite a lot of thievery.
Anything else I should know?
Death will visit the book thief 3 times.
An international bestseller.
The Book Thief by Markus Zusak.
Now a major motion picture.
And that takes us on the end of our journey for World Book Day and Schools Radio. Thank you to everyone who took part. As always, I'm sorry we couldn't include all of the entries. But who is the winner? We asked for a promo or book review, and one school decided to take the research a bit further and went on location to interview a famous local author whose book was made into an international blockbuster hit. The full interview is on our Audio Boo page. Click on the link from our website. Here is a clip of the Mayflower Academy interviewing author Benjamin Mee about his book, We Bought a Zoo, on location at Dartmoor Zoo.
I believe the animals all have names. How did you name them?
Well, a lot of the animals had names when we got there, and all the new animals we've got, I usually let the keepers decide, because they're the guys who work very closely with them, and they get to see the characters of all the different animals, and they choose the names. For instance, the baby tapir, who was born a year or so ago, they decided to call him Lutador. And I wasn't sure about this, but it's the Portuguese word for fighter, and they thought he was a little fighter because he was born nearly dead, and they kind of nursed him back to life, and he fought to stay alive. And so we called him Luta. And Zazu is another little, a baby rhea, which is a bit like an emu, that the keepers named, just because he looks like a Zazu. And usually there's a sort of vote on it. People come up with lots of different names. Actually, one of my favourites was a snake who was delivered to us by the police, who found a snake in Plymouth. And they brought him in a box from a toaster. And it was a Russell Hobbs 2-slice toaster box. And they opened it up, and there's this snake. And we had a competition, and we thought, should we call him Russell or Hobbs? And everyone voted, let's call him 2-slice. And so he's called 2-slice, and he is. That's his name. It works.
With thanks to Andrew Hill at Hospital Radio Plymouth, Neil Gray, and all of the team at Mayflower. From me, Darren Deans, and all of the Schools Radio team, thank you for listening. I'll leave you with the Mayflower Academy. Goodbye.
When you go home this afternoon, you could switch on the telly, you could jump straight on the Xbox, or even go to sleep. Or you could immerse yourself in a good book, such as We Bought a Zoo by Benjamin Mee, telling the remarkable story of how a London journalist decided to come down to Devon to buy a dilapidated zoo in the middle of Dartmoor. It's so good they even made it into a film. World Book Day 2014, supported by Mayflower Community Academy.
Schools Radio!